to the next fight, the second fight on the card, Jennifer Maia versus Casey O'Neill. Now, in my opinion, I'm not going to lie, I haven't seen many of these fights that these women are in, but I
Okay.
do know that Casey O'Neill is unbeaten at the moment, and she is on a little bit of a streak in the UFC.
Yeah.
I would like to see her and see how she performs against somebody like Jennifer Maia. Jennifer Maia is obviously a tough opponent. She just recently had a title shot recently.
Right.
So this isn't going to be an easy fight for her, but I feel like this is a good fight to see where she's at. She's fighting a competitor and a former contender. So I'm interested to see the fight. And I would say, off the strength of what I've seen, I'll give the fight to Jennifer Maia just because I know how tough of an opponent she actually is.
Jennifer Maia is a tough opponent. She's not a walk in the park. I think right now this is Casey O'Neill's time to shine. I think that just like the Jack Shore fight with Makwan, I think this is kind of like a showcase fight for Casey O'Neill. I feel like she has to beat the Jennifer Maias of the world to prove that she's ready to fight for the title. If she doesn't beat the Jennifer Maias of the world, then it's either that she needs to go back and work on her game a lot more, obviously, or she might not be cut out for this level of competition. So, in my opinion, this is a big fight for Casey O'Neill as far as like step up in competition. Um, I'm going with Casey O'Neill by decision.
Okay. All right. Well, third fight on the card we have is Gunnar Nelson versus Bryan Barberena. I think this fight is interesting because these are two guys who have a little bit of a grappling game to them, who also like to strike. Gunnar Nelson, his matches are interesting because I feel like he's had some mixed results in the UFC, but he's not necessarily like a slouch of a fighter. Like, I think he has decent stand up, and I think his ground game is what a lot of people fear. That being said, though, I think Bryan Barberena has the pressure in his game to go and beat somebody like a Gunnar Nelson and kind of, I would say, lead the pace of the fight. I don't think he'll necessarily overwhelm him, but I think he does have the ability to take over the fight and lead the pace, leading to a win for him. I would say a decision win for Bryan Barberena.
So I agree that Bryan Barberena is probably going to win. I predicted him to win. I actually predicted him by third round TKO. I think the reason why I say third round because of the short notice. If he was scheduled for this fight originally, I probably would have bumped that up to like a second round TKO, maybe even a first. I feel like Gunnar Nelson, he's a good Gunnar Nelson can fight. Problem I have with Gunnar Nelson is he can be a little inconsistent. And yes, his grappling is kind of his strong suit, but he's been beaten in the grappling before. Hence the main event, one of the main event fighters, and Leon Edwards, the champ. You know, he beat Gunnar Nelson off of grappling. I just think that also Gunnar Nelson is a little chinny, and Bryan Barberena, man, he got some power, and if he gets his rhythm going, his mojo going, I don't think it's going to be. I can't see Gunnar Nelson getting in a firefight with Bryan Barberena and walking out of that okay. Now, if he knocks out Bryan, holy smokes! But I think Bryan Barberena is going to pressure him like you were saying. I think he's going to score a third round TKO.
All right. Well, moving on to the co